Hello dear friends. Earth is known throughout the galaxy as a prison planet. These are planets where individuals and fragmented societies are confined, trapped life after life, through a system of implants. Opinion piece, breaking point, market chaos, system failure, end of matrix, storm warning, transition signs, execution phase, explosive window, warrior's solitude, maximum pressure. The veil is being lifted. Frequency of awakening. From chaos to a new world. Black swan and green light. Metallic particles in the sky. From the old to the new order. From financial collapse to dawn. It's going to be a magnificent show. Let's start. Sources linked to the Axios 4B channel announced the activation of a global monetary transition that would affect 209 countries and cause a major stock market crash. According to these messages, a DEFCON Level 1 alert has been issued to ensure the smooth transition process, which includes the implementation of GISARA, the full operation of ISO 20022, and the initiation of the Level 4B transition. Intelligence sources cited by the channel confirm increased security at major financial centers. Private security measures have been reportedly been activated in Reno, Zurich, and Dubai, with special operation teams deployed to prevent outside interference during the shift in the global balance of power. The messages describe the current market situation as the beginning of a black swan event. They point to instability, anomalous movements, and mounting pressure on currencies, banks, and global liquidity. They indicate that this scenario will not be presented as an outright collapse, but will be publicly labeled as a correction or uncertainty, while the system moves behind the scenes toward its final phase. It is indicated that banking channels and private exchange centers are already active. They demand security, biometric identification, and proof of funds. Public displays are designed not to show transactions, while internal systems record them. The lifting of sanctions, the implementation of digital infrastructure, asset recovery, and the activation of revaluation are also mentioned. The messages, in plural, emphasize that the architecture is not being reformed, but replaced. They are moving from a model based on delays, debt, and authorizations to another one based on speed, verification, and alignment. They highlight instant settlement, zero friction, a ledger reset instead of lifetime debt, and the failure of legacy financial control systems. They state that the change is silent at first, then obvious and irreversible. Next week is presented as the most decisive in recent financial history. Those already within Level 4B would recognize the signs immediately. Those outside would seek explanations once their turn is over. The process is described as a structured, secured, synchronized, and in the execution phase, not the announcement phase. According to these statements, the final phase is underway. The pieces are falling into place faster than expected, and the silence is deliberate. The old system, based on opacity and debt, cannot continue in the face of the transparency and truth of the new framework. Storm alert. Remember, this is going to get ugly, says Litecoin Bull. Don't even think about losing your temper and getting angry at me. Get angry at those Excuse me. Get angry at those who call you a conspiracy theorist. They caused this. We'll simply say, we want you. Explain what we expect next and do our thing. Staying awake is hard, sure, but if you are living awake at night frustrated, wondering what it will take to wake those sheep, you'll soon find out. Don't kill the messenger. God gave you a brain, so use it. Let things take their course and be grateful for being in the right place at the right time and for being divinely protected. Knowledge is power, so use it to your advantage, knowing that other sheep are about to witness a madness that it is about to erupt. Stay true to yourself and observe their reactions as you remain silent and realize how manipulated society has become. It's going to be a grand and unforgettable show for the history books. Hidden truth. The hidden truth is about to be exposed. According to Daniel Knows a Lot, we stand on the threshold of history. For years, darkness has operated in the shadows through corruption, deception, and power structures that have controlled narratives, economies, and lives. But the storm has arrived. The veil is being lifted, and the hidden truth that so many have fought to bury is bursting forth with unstoppable force. We are entering a new world, a world free from the chains of systemic corruption, a world where transparency replaces secrecy, where justice prevails over the privileges of the elite, and where the people reclaim their rightful power. The old system is crumbling before our eyes. Institutions that once seemed untouchable are faltering, and what was once hidden in darkness is coming to light. The old system is ending now. This is not just a political moment. It is a global awakening, a reset of truth, accountability and freedom. A storm is brewing, lightning is flashing across the sky, and the dawn of a new era is on the horizon. The forces of the past are disparate, but they cannot stem the tide. The love of freedom and the demand for true justice are stronger than ever. Stay alert and united, because the best is yet to come. End of Matrix. An urgent warning issued by Bertras of the Walking the Path channel alerts that the partial lunar eclipse on August 28th will be used to perform a reset and reprogramming of the Earth hologram, at which point extreme visual anomalies could occur in three-dimensional reality. According to the message, the old control hologram imposed after the fall of Atlantis is in a phase of collapse and will be taken over by the forces of light. Bertars indicates that there is a 22% probability that a specific anomaly will be visible to thousands of millions of people, that it can be recorded and disseminated on social media and television, generating an unprecedented episode of collective panic. This situation could be exploited by dark forces that are already preparing with rituals to try to regain their energetic control. The Earth hologram has served for millennia to maintain confinement in 3D, and its disconnection must be carried out gradually to avoid absolute chaos in the human mind and senses. The sender asks that the warning be shared through networks and contacts. Trails. Mr. Kitbull described the persistent white trails left by airplanes as chemical trails, part of a global covert operation called Folded Indigo Sky Operation. According to the author, for decades, commercial and military aircraft has dispersed a mixture of aluminium, barium, strontium, and graphene oxide into the atmosphere. Although presented as solar radiation management against weather change, Mr. Kitbull maintains that the main objective would be to increase atmospheric conductivity to facilitate weather control, manipulation of the ionosphere, and the operation of frequency networks. The article states that metallic nanoparticles are inhaled and absorbed through the skin, acting as internal antennas that would turn the population into biological receivers of a frequency network, enabling remote surveillance and the degradation of health. Furthermore, the aluminium deposited in the soil would make traditional organic crops toxic, favoring dependence on genetically modified seeds resistant to aluminium, while the white haze would reduce sunlight and vitamin D levels. Mr. Kitbull claims that this operation is being dismantled. Pilots linked to the white hats have reportedly begun neutralizing the spray tanks and replacing the toxic loads with atmospheric cleaning agents. It is noted that the pilots involved are being exposed and that the geoengineering networks funds are being seized. Theories. Several theories are circulating. It could be November 22, 2026, a potential date to commemorate the anniversary of President JFK's assassination on November 22, 1963. But no one knows when, nor will they ever. When it happens, it will be announced from above and done simultaneously. So, no one will have time to inform everyone according to People's Newsletter. The White Hats have successfully moved the world's gold reserves to safe havens to back this new financial system. The great transition is unfolding behind the scenes, and the public announcement is the final piece of the puzzle. Corporate governments are being dissolved, and sovereign republics are being restored. The wealth of the earth is finally returning to its rightful owners, the people. We were told that poverty is natural and that debt is eternal. They lied to hide the fact that once the parasites are eliminated, there is more than enough for everyone. The scales are being balanced and our freedom is being recovered. True freedom begins when the chains of debt are broken. The golden age is not a dream, it is a law. Another key event is that our recession to 5D Christ consciousness is imminent. That is, our original plan is being restored. There are benevolent species that are helping humanity. The plan is for humanity to be integrated into a galactic community. Our planet could even become a center of cosmic exchange to provide us with additional protection against dark energies and prevent us from falling back into the abyss. Other species have evolved greatly, but human beings not so much. So we have much work ahead of us to catch up. The coalition has made a major breakthrough on the lunar stage. The White Hats and their cosmic allies have successfully neutralized the malevolent factions that operated the frequency transmitters on the moon. The soul grid is being dismantled, and the high-frequency energy from the galactic center is finally reaching the Earth's surface. The dark bases are being cleared, and the moon is being transformed into a center of galactic diplomacy and advanced education for a newly awakened humanity. Warriors' solitude. Kerry Kay describes the chosen as human beings who operate on a frequency known as 144,000, defined not as a number of beings, but as a state of consciousness and awakening. Those who identify with this condition cannot fully immerse themselves in the collective dream or interact with the unconscious in the same way as others. It's not the status of divine favoritism or special condition, but rather those who choose to come to this plane and remain awake within the dream, holding the code that awakens others. These people often experience a feeling of loneliness, even when surrounded by others, as if they were a boisterous party, yet perceiving the world in slow motion and unable to connect with anyone. This feeling, presented as an apparent curse, is described as a blessing, since they maintain a frequency that others do not yet understand. The reason for maintaining this frequency is to wait until the rest is ready, and that point has been reached at this current moment in the timeline. Therefore, the chosen ones now transmit the signal they have maintained without being considered insane. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.